What's happening, everybody? It's your brother Sega Man back with another game talk. Another game talk, man. Today, Wednesday, trying to keep it that way. It's kind of hard due to the holidays. Spending time with, you know, friends and family. Got things I have to do during the holiday. But a lot of things been trending lately in the gaming community. And it's a lot of the same. Emmanuel, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? How you doing, Emmanuel A1? Happy holidays to you and your family, brother. It's good to see you, man. Haven't seen you in a while. I'm not gonna be here too long. Probably like a good half hour. We'll see. Because I gotta go to work today. But Emmanuel, since you're here, man, the topic today, man, was trending is you know Xbox games going to $70. Now everybody is talking about it. I believe uh, my brother Unlimited did a podcast with it about it. I believe was think he bought was in there, and I think Sega Forever. I watched his video earlier this morning having breakfast, and I think he got in there later. But Sony, PlayStation as a company, they started that. Since Sega Forever said, the market leaders, they say what goes. So they made their games at $70, right? A lot of people are upset with that, A1. But some people, they're okay with it, you know? And the thing I got to say to that, and the title to this game talk is, all I have to say is Xbox Game Pass. Because even though, and mind you, the prices of our games on Xbox, the exclusives and everything, don't go up till next year. It's still 2022, so they're not going up until next year. Sony has raised the prices of their games and their console. That's one thing that Microsoft didn't do. They did not raise the price of the Xbox Series S or X. Now, that's to be determined at a later date, but I don't believe they're going to. They don't really have to think about it. They don't really have to raise the prices of their consoles if they don't want to. What's that? Just got a final exam and course overall. I'm feeling great. Well, that's good, man. I'm glad. I'm glad, brother. But what I'm saying is, and I hope you're doing well, and that's good, man. I care about my people, you know what I mean, and my gaming family, and in general, you guys know that I always show much love to people that have been listening to me as long as they've been rocking out with me on my channel. So much respect to you, Emmanuel. But what I have to say to that is Microsoft doesn't have to raise their prices. Either their games, in my opinion, or their consoles. They have way more money than Sony, and we have repeated and said this over and over and over again, but they still keep denying things out there. The trolls out there in the gaming community. They want to point the finger now. See, Xbox is raising the prices of their games, right, Emmanuel? So what I got to say to that, and which they can't say nothing to and negate, is Xbox Game Pass, and they cannot negate that at all. We can still play those $70 exclusives in Game Pass, Ultimate Game Pass, for the low price of $15 a month. Now, here's the thing. If the prices do go up for the games, Game Pass might go up. It might go up to a few more dollars for a month of Game Pass, but it's still worth it. If it goes, let's say it goes up to what is it, 15 now? I don't want to say $20, but let's say it goes up a couple bucks. Let's say it goes up to 18. I mean, a weird number. Let's say it's 15. Let's say $18 for a month of Ultimate Game Pass, right? Let's just say a couple dollars. It doesn't matter. Even if it went up to $20 a month, okay? You're still getting a lot of games, third-party games. You're going to be getting Activision, Blizzard games. You're going to still be getting Bethesda, ZeniMax games because we own those studios and we will own Activision. I don't care what anybody says. We're going to own Activision. There is no what if. Okay, there is no what if. Okay, they're going to acquire and get them Activision and Blizzard. I don't believe that it's going to fail. Okay, they just are hoping and praying that that fails so bad. For the life of me, guys, I don't know why. I really don't. I really don't know why. It's not hurting. It's not hurting your console. Xbox is trolling the new. This would give viral and when it make Game Pass subs increase. Yes, this Emmanuel. See, PlayStation right now, they're really hurting really bad. I'm honestly not trying to belittle them. Okay, but let's just be real. PlayStation as a company have done this to themselves. Okay, with their anti-consumerism when it comes to being and doing right towards the consumer. You know, we're in a recession right now. Okay, we just got over a pandemic. I mean, it's still going on, but a lot of people this holiday season, and you've seen it in Black Friday sales, you've seen it out there in the community. A lot of people are hurting right now. They are. A lot of people are hurting right now. For money. So if they can't afford, which I want to give my hats off again, the Xbox Series X outsold the PlayStation. You know, it outsold it for Black Friday. Okay, I'm allowed to say that. I am a diehard fan. I'm allowed to tout that if I want to, because I'm a proud owner of an Xbox Series X. But I thought the Xbox Series S would outsell everything. Okay, the Nintendo Switch outsold, then Xbox, and then PlayStation. I think it was 18%, or it was low. It was low. The PlayStation 5 did not sell as well as the Xbox Series X and S. It just didn't. And for one of the reasons I think, in my opinion, Emmanuel, is because of their anti-consumerism, raising the prices of the games, raising the price of your system that just came out. How can you raise the price of your system that just came out? And then you're going to have a new what is it, VR come out that's going to be way expensive, and you can only play it with the PlayStation 5. You can only play it with the PlayStation 5. Some people are, a little bit upset about that. I know that PlayStation 4 is last gen, so it kind of makes sense. Maybe it's more technology and the PlayStation 4 can't handle it. I don't know. I really don't care. But that thing is very expensive. Okay? And a lot of people are hurting today, Emmanuel, for money. All right? So we still are at a win-win situation. You guys know what I always say, and I always will stand by it, Emmanuel. We are definitely eating good over here on the Xbox side because we're still winning when it comes to being a consumer of gaming, because when those games go up to $70, we can still play those games in Game Pass and not have to pay $70. And they're mad about that because you're still going to have to pay full price for PlayStation and Switch games. You're still going to have to pay full price if you want to play those games. The remake thing is just tiresome. A lot of people are complaining right now about the remakes and what Sony's doing with these games. They're biding time. Okay? I think they're going to bundle Disney and Hulu if Game Pass goes to $20. Now, if they do that, Emmanuel, that's in my opinion, that'd be cool. That'd be a good deal to bundle it like that, okay? Because like I said, and you know this, Emmanuel, a lot of people today don't have the money. They just don't. Okay? Your entry into next gen gaming is definitely the Xbox Series S. I do not belittle the Xbox Series S. My son has one. He actually has two, you know, but I do not belittle that at all whatsoever. Okay? And um I always thought that would be the system seller. I thought that the Xbox Series S would be the system seller, you know, and the Xbox Series X actually beat out everything, which is it's unbelievable because I know people are strapped for money. Maybe people have saved up for the Xbox Series X. You know, I know you get real good deals with it. I think you got Ultimate Game Pass with some of them. I believe they had bundles, like you said, with certain systems and stuff like that, and maybe that's how it's sold. Also, you know what I mean. You still have is it Xbox All Access? You know, different things like that. You know, Toolman 55, how you doing, brother? But um, they're trying to point the finger now and laugh at people that are that enjoy Xbox and the Xbox dollar fans like myself because they're going to raise the price to $70. I know old enough to know and realize that everything does go up. Okay, a lot of people that rock out with PlayStation don't want nothing to go up. They don't want nothing to go up. They want it to stay the same way. It's not going to. Everything goes up eventually. How long, guys, have games been at that price point? $60. How long? Long time. A very, very long time. It's been at that price point. Okay? It doesn't matter if Game Pass goes up. You're still getting the best value for your buck in gaming. What are they going to do? Cry about $20 a month if it's bundled with something? Even if it's not bundled with something, brothers, gaming brothers, it's still worth the money because of all the games you're getting in Game Pass. Do you know how many games just dropped in Game Pass right now? All these great games that are dropping in Game Pass right now. You got that new Star Wars Lego game that just dropped in Game Pass right now. It came out 2 weeks ago. I mean, you got a lot of games that have dropped in Game Pass, man. It's like you're a kid in a candy store. I mean, kids can enjoy it. Everybody can enjoy it. You know, the Lego Star Wars game just dropped in there. What else dropped in there? Let's see. We got Hello Neighbor 2. Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. I think one's called Eastward. Battlefield 2042. And there's one I'm playing right. I didn't really get into because I had to go to work. Emergent Sandstorm. Looks like a good shooter. You know what I mean? It looks like a good shooter. You know, you have Gungrave. Gungrave, I just started playing Gungrave. It's a pretty good, decent Japanese type X shooting game. Pentiment. You know, they try to make in front of Pentiment, but a lot of people like the game and have beat the game already. Somerville. Okay, a cool sci-fi experience, story-driven kind of game, which is really cool. And the best game, in my opinion, right now that's very addicting, that everybody's talking about, that's only on Game Pass, guys. What is it, guys? Can you guess what that is? I won't even say it. If you can guess what the game I'm addicted to, I'm playing a lot, that took me actually away from Gears of War and different games like that. What game is actually right now everybody talking about out here in these gaming streets and on YouTube that they just love the game? You see them when they do videos, when they do podcasts, you see it in there. Can you guess what game that is? What's up, Other Zinc, my brother? How are you doing, man? How you doing this lovely Wednesday morning? What's up with you, man? Good to see you, man. I hope you and your family's doing well. No, it's not Grounded. It's not Grounded, Emmanuel. It's not Grounded. You know what the game is? It is called Vampire Survivor. Everybody and their mother is playing that game, and it is very addicting right now. Just like when Power Wash Simulator came out, when I was playing that game, you know, my brother 100 said, "Oh man, I ain't playing that crap. I ain't playing that shit." Next thing you know, he played it for a while. Everybody and their mom was playing that game when it came out, and they got addicted to it. I mean, it's a Power Wash Simulator, but it's a cool, chill game. It's a cool, chill game, man. Everybody right now is playing Vampire Survivor. Phil Spencer is playing it. I see him playing it on my friends list. I see a lot of people playing it, and it's very addicting. I think me and Other Zinc talked about this because it was a phone game. You know what I mean? Gears 5, yes sir, brother, yes sir. It's taken me. It's actually taken me away. Absolutely, the Game Pass. Toolman 55. How you doing? Just saying what's up to the chat. How you doing, Ron? Thanks for coming, brother. Yeah, look. Others Inc. can give his opinion on this. Like I said, if people are talking, you know, Others Inc., pointing a finger, you know, the trolls, that our games are going up $70. Okay, it was already going. It was eventually going to happen. All right, but like I said, and the title is, we have Game Pass, so it doesn't matter. The games, our exclusives can go up to $70. Okay, our exclusives can go up to $70. We still have Ultimate Game Pass to play those games. For a low price right now for $15 a month. Excuse me, guys. Alexa, do you have a notification for me?
One new notification from Amazon Shopping. A shipment has arrived. While you're here, I wanted to let you know I can now help you find holiday gifts. Just ask me to help you with holiday shopping.
Anyways, guys, they're laughing and pointing the finger at us now because our games are going up. But this is one thing we have over the competition, and they know it, and Sony knows this. Even the lead guy there said that they would take forever to catch up to us because of Game Pass. Okay, is it Jim Ryan? Okay, Game Pass is it. Game Pass is the ticket. Like I always say, we're eating good over here. It's the ticket, man, when it comes to gaming. You know what I mean? And we don't have to pay the $70 if we don't want to. We can buy it at a later date digitally, and at a discounted price. You know, Grounded. That's my hook. Yeah, Grounded is a fantastic game. You know. Oh, I just seen he bought. Let me send him a link. I didn't know if my brother was up. Let me send he bought a link real quick here, guys. Give me 1 second, he bought. I'm gonna send you a link, brother. I'm just checking the chat right now, man. So let me send you a link. I'm gonna send brother he bought a link here, guys, real quick. Give me 1 second. Send he bought a link. Yeah, guys. So, like I said, we'll see. You know, trying to get he bought in here. Give me a second, guys. Give me 1 second. Yeah, let me get Hebot in here. All right, I sent Hebot a link, so he should be joining us. Thank you, Hebot, my brother Hebot. But what I'm saying is that it's still a win-win for us. It's still a win-win, you know, for Xbox. You know what I mean? Just so many people out here trying to damage control all this stuff, man. You know what I mean? But there is people actually starting to call out Sony with some of the stuff that they're doing. I can't remember the name of the podcast, you know, where they changed it, make the game $70, and one game I think they said went back to $60. I can't remember what it was. I think it was like for upgraded one was cheaper than the one that wasn't. I can't remember. Yeah, I hear you, man. I have to take everybody's opinion into consideration. He says, screw these companies and their $70 games. Tried. of the companies. Haven't seen no games from these companies worth $70. I'll wait for a sell. Brother, I can agree with you. I can agree with you on that. I'm being honest. I can agree with you on that, man. I can definitely agree with you on that. There's people and gamers out here like 70. What is it? 70. I can't see. No, this moves. I'm sorry, brother, if I'm butchering your name, but I agree with him. There's people out here that are going to wait for a sell. There's a game right now I was telling Hebot that I want to actually. Is it called Callisto Protocol? Did I say it right? That game looks fantastic. I want to play the game, but right now I don't want to buy it at that price. So I'm going to wait for a sale. I have people to buy for family, for Christmas. I'm last on the list. It's not about me. It's about we. My family comes first. So I'm concentrating on what I have to do for Christmas. And my friends, I got a few friends that, I'm getting gifts for too, that much respect to all them out there. They know who they are. And I'm last on the list. It's my family first. Got to take care of my family first, and then I'm last. You know what I mean? So, that's why you have Microsoft also that Sony don't have. You got those Microsoft points. You gain points every day. You come out here, you gain points every day to earn Microsoft money to get games. So you got to put that grind in every morning, every day when you get home from work, every day before you go to work. That's what I do in the morning. Every morning, guys. I get up, get a cup of coffee, check out some things, and then I go ahead on and do my my points, man. You know what I mean? That's what I do. Shouts out to the chat. Thank you guys for rocking out with me today. This morning. Really appreciate it. I was a Dead Space fan. So it wasn't instead of Callisto Protocol, but Dead Space remake looks fire. Yes, it does. I agree. I agree. A1. I am a Dead Space fan. I have all of them. I have the Dead Space games from the 360. Actually, the Dead Space, the first one, looks really good on your Xbox Series X. It's got that upgrade, so it looks very good, very well on there. Go back to play that until you can get that remake. Now, I don't really buy remakes, A1, but if it goes to a price that's reasonable for me, I'll pick it up. I honestly try not to buy remakes, to be honest with you, but if it's like a super reasonable price, man, I'll pick it up. You know what I mean? I already had it and played it, and I understand that some people like to buy remakes, It's their money. I can't tell people what to buy. You know what I mean? If that's what they want to do, that's fine. But if it's definitely like, look, I still didn't get it yet. The Mass Effect collection. Now I beat all of them on a 360, and they were backward compatibility. But I actually do want that. I actually beat it too on the the remake one they put out here, and it was on Game Pass. I actually beat all three of those games. Again, I actually didn't finish 2. Like, how you do the side missions? 2 was my favorite Mass Effect. My very favorite Mass Effect, So, yes, I'm going to purchase. I think it was $20 and I missed it. But I had other things I had to take care of, so I didn't buy it, So, yeah, man, I mean, I'll get that because they did a fantastic job on it. You know what I mean? They did a fantastic job on that. You know what I mean? So that would be worth a buy, especially if you get it. What's up, Jay? How are you? Other things says Halo Infinite, Forza Motorsport 7, Gears 5, Call of Duty, Sea of Thieves, Flight Simulator, Forza Horizon 5 are all worth 70, as those games provide great replay value. 100% facts. Our brother Others Inc. always spits, man, especially when we do our podcast, the Exile Alpha, we got Next and Unlimited Truth. I mean, he spits straight up facts, man, because it's true. It's worth it. It has replay value. Like like Halo Infinite. Look, when you beat the campaign, you have all kind of online gaming modes that you can play on there, especially Gears 5 also. I love Gears 5. It's my favorite shooter. A lot of people love Halo. You know, much respect to Halo. I do love Halo, but my beloved favorite shooter is Gears. It's a sci-fi gore shooter. I love it to death. That's my favorite is Gears, the Gears series, the Gears lore, you know? And you can play Escape. You can play Horde. You can play Versus. You got all kind of DLC that was fantastic for the game. You get all kind of DLC in Forza Horizon 5 that keeps you going. You got tons and tons of shit to do in Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is still good today. That Kraken the Kraken is lacking was a bunch of bull crap that these dudes were spewing out here. You know, just to have shits and giggles and making fun of the game. But here now the game is doing way better than any other exclusive or any other game they have right now when it comes to online. The competition can't even compare to Sea of Thieves. None of their online games except for, let's say, well, that's not even their game, which is Call of Duty. But any of their in-house games, they don't even have as many. They don't even have any. To be honest with you, probably anybody on there like we have on our games, guys. That's just the truth. You know, we have a better infrastructure. You know, of when it comes to our games. Hebot, if you're still there, man, I sent you a link. I didn't see you in there earlier, but I'm here, man. I'm not going to be here too much longer, but I did send you a link because I got to go to work. Deus. Hey, Deus, what's up, brother? How are you, man? I do like remakes that are radical remakes like Resident Evil 2. That's cool. I can dig it. I understand that. That's cool. Isn't there a remake coming out soon? Isn't there a remake coming out soon of, is it Resident Evil 4? Heba, what's up, brother?
My brother, how are you?
Hey, man. What's up, man? How you?
Tired. I just pulled the triple.
What? A triple?
I did a podcast with our brother Unlimited at like 3 a.m.
You crazy.
Went to sleep like at 4.
Yeah.
Got up at 8. Started my second shift, and now I'm doing my third shift with my boy single hand.
You crazy. 3. Why did he do 3 a.m?
Well, we were trying to test something out because his computer was updating or whatever.
Yeah.
And he sent it like around 1-ish. But by the time we started, we did everything and finished, it was like 3:30 when we finished. We actually started early.
Yeah.
But we wanted to try it out, but we started talking and forget it. You know how that is.
Yeah.
So it was a late edition of Unlimited Truth.
Who all was in there?
Not just me and him.
Was this you and him?
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Wow. Didn't Sega Forever come in at the last minute? No, he didn't? Okay.
Sega Forever did one also, I guess after we got off.
Yeah, because I watched that. I
got to see it. I saw it. I haven't seen it. Then I saw you on it. It said live.
Yeah, man.
I was like, all right. I'm on the road right now. Let me jump in. Let me see what my brother Sega Man's doing. And let me talk with him for a little bit. We got a massive headache, but hey, what it is what it is.
You take some ibuprofens?
I'm going to take some extra strength Tylenol when I get home. I'm going to go to sleep.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like taking ibuprofens.
You know? Well, the thing is, I'm allergic to it.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm allergic to penicillin also and aspirin.
Yeah. But brother, I know you probably already talked about it, but I want to get your opinion on it, man. You know this was going to happen. You know it was going to happen. You've been talking about it for a long time too, brother. Yes, our games are going to go up to $70. I mean, we expected games to go up period, because of the way things are. Things go up. It doesn't matter. Things do go
Mhm.
up,
Mhm.
right? So they want to point the finger and say, look, nah, aha, your guys' games are going up. You know what I mean? But they don't understand though. We still have Game Pass. So if we don't want to, right? We don't have to pay $70 for our exclusives.
Absolutely. Mhm.
So what do you think about the whole thing about, I mean, what was their use of it, them even saying anything? To just deny Game Pass?
I mean, look, game cost. The fact of the matter is, it's up. Game cost is up. It's very expensive to make games.
Yes.
The more sophisticated, the more intricate, the more elaborate they make them, the more money you have to spend. You know,
Yeah.
look at where Halo Infinite. Supposedly, the purse for Halo Infinite, that was including marketing and stuff like that, was about $500 million, my brother.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
$500 million is not too, it's a big chunk of money
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
for one project, right?
Yes.
So to think, right, ignorantly enough to be like, oh, but games can't go up in price because people start using the stupid argument of microtransactions and all types of other things that you get, that they charge you within the game. But
Yeah.
what you fail to understand, yes, those things may be there in some games, but they're there by choice, meaning you get it if you choose to buy it. That's not forced for you to get it.
That's
You
right.
understand?
Yeah.
And that's there if you choose to buy it. And that also there, obviously, to help developers. Because developers, and I've been saying it for a long time, they don't make a lot of money off the game sales, especially physical.
Yeah.
Physical copy, although it's the best medium because it preserves your game. You don't need, you know, online connection. You don't need to worry about downloading your shit. You don't need to worry about if you forget your password, you lost your game. Whatever the case may be.
Right. Right.
Physical medium is the best medium in the sense that you preserve it. You can play it offline, play it online. And we all know that even that is some games, it depends because it's a game by game basis now. Because some games always need online. So there's no even point in buying it physical, right?
Right.
They won't work unless you have an online connection. Some games, they don't even have the game on the disc. Halo is one of them. They only have a little bit of the game in the disc for whatever reason. I guess because they were going to keep updating it and they weren't sure if all the game or the whole game would fit in the disc.
Uh-huh.
That's why they went that route, because it's supposed to be a 10-year plan or a 10-year program, right?
Yeah.
And keeping in mind that the biggest problem and the biggest corporate too is still to this day is Microsoft is using the 50 gig disc still. They're not using the 200 gig disc, right? The
Yeah.
PlayStation and Sony, they use that disc, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that's the reason why they also charge more money for their games, because that's more expensive, because it holds more information.
Yeah.
So Microsoft probably is realizing going forward with these bigger games, they have to upgrade to that disc as well. That's another topic. That disc that they have to upgrade to is going to cost more money to produce and print out. And to be honest, like I said last night when I was speaking to Unlimited,
Yeah.
we saw the game physical, right?
Yeah.
That game, you have to pay for distribution. You have to pay for overseas shipment. You have to pay for the artist who does the artwork of the box. You have to pay for the boxes. You have to pay for shelf space, storage, shipping, international, import and cost. All that stuff has to be paid out. So at the end of the day, once the game sells, the developers and publishers are getting like 35% of the profits, or maybe 40.
Yeah.
Because even though they get the biggest pot, right? They get the biggest percentage. they got to split and pay everybody else. Now, when it's a first party, it's a little bit less because it's owned by the people putting it out, like Microsoft, for example.
Yeah.
But still, they have to pay, for shipping fees, for space, or any product when they put it on the store, you got to pay for that shelf space. It
Right.
applies to toys as well because they need to make space for your product. So you got to spend a certain amount of money to make that space.
Yeah.
And the more pronounced it is, people will realize, oh, look, that's a big Xbox display. Look, all these games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why it's always important to have a big display. That's what people don't understand. That's why
You there, brother? You're losing connection a little bit. Ebot? You're losing connection a little bit. You still there? Hebot, you still there? Hebot will be back, guys. I just seen your message, Other Zinc. Oh man, I can't on the. It's on the phone, right? Let me see. I don't think I can from here, but he'll be back. He'll be back. Man, I wanted Zinc in here. If Hebot comes in, I'm gonna see if I can get you in, Zinc. Hold on, man. What's up, T Reaper? Big shouts out to the chat, man. He'll be back. He'll be back, man. Mr. Kima, thank you for coming, man. Good point. Folks are forgetting that Game Pass offers a 20% discount if you decide to buy the game, which is awesome. But you honestly don't see that on any other. You don't see that on any other console, okay? You don't see that on any other console where they're offering you stuff like that. You don't see that. You definitely don't. You definitely don't see that. There's Zinc. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna try to get you in, brother. I'm gonna try to get you in. I'm definitely gonna try to get you in. And then, like Other Zinc said, Gears of War Ragnarok is a PS4 port, and no one is playing it today. That is true. For $70 with no replay value, that is absolutely 100%. In my opinion, Other Zinc is correct about that. I honestly believe that. You know what I mean? I honestly believe that. And I think a lot of PlayStation fans. I'm talking about real PlayStation fans. I don't think they appreciate what they're doing. Let's just keep it real, guys. We are Xbox fans. We are diehard Xbox fans. They can call us fanboys or Xbots or whatever they want to call us, because this is our brand and we support our brand to the fullest. And we're always going to defend our brand because this is the console we chose to invest in and, invest our money in, which is Xbox, which is in my opinion, the best place to play video games, especially for the value for your buck, for the consumers of gaming, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So I agree with them 100% on that. Earl says, I think they raised the price because Activision games already cost that much to make it, even across the board. So there's a lot of, and that could also be a fact. That could also be true. So like I said, there's a lot of opinions in here, out here in the chat today. Big shout out to the chat. The chat's on fire. What's up to my brother T Reaper? Good morning to you too, brother. How are you doing? This morning, we might have an alpha. This Saturday, we'll see. There might be an Xbox alpha this Saturday. I actually thought of changing the name, guys, but Tuck said, try to think of some things. And I said, nah, I think I'll just keep it that way. I thought of changing the name of the podcast, you know what I mean? But I think I'm just going to keep it that way. A lot of people are used to it, it being called that. And to me, I kind of like it. It's different. You know what I'm saying? But big shouts out to everybody. And other things says Sony is charging $70 because they need the money. Sony exclusives are doing nothing new. And that is true, guys. It's true. They're not doing nothing new. Come on, let's be realistic. How many games has Xbox had on its platform that was different and new? There's been a lot of games. Let's look at the Gunk. The Gunk was different. It was a pretty decent game. It didn't get the notoriety it should have. Art form and style was unique and different. Gameplay was awesome. I think Hebot actually beat that. You know what I mean? I think he beat the Gunk. Let's see. Yeah. Life is more expensive. Like I said, I mean, I got to get the best value out of my buck that I can afford, because I'm not rich and I don't claim to be. You know what I mean? And like I said before, gaming is, and E-Rock has said, we did numerous videos on it and short podcasts. Gaming is an expensive hobby. It just is. It really is. And I think Microsoft, when it comes to gaming, they're trying to make it not so expensive for you to enjoy gaming. You know what I mean? With Game Pass. Game Pass is it's number one. If I didn't have, let's say I was really strapped for money and I was a gamer, right? I didn't have, because I have a decent job. It's not, I'm not rich off of it, but it's a decent job, and I was wanted to get into gaming. I would save up, get an Xbox Series S, get a month of Ultimate Game Pass, and I'd be good for a little while, where I can actually save up more to get more games or stuff like that. So it's better. You know what I mean? It's better than nothing. And also, if you can't even afford, like I said before in the other podcast, if you can't afford an Xbox Series S or X, you can go back. I mean, you can go back and well, actually, the One X is actually more expensive. I seen an advertisement where the Xbox One X is more expensive than the Xbox Series X, and that's a next gen console. That's crazy, But if you can't even afford that, you always have. If you have a phone, you can get Game Pass and play on your phone. You can play on your tablet. If you have a laptop, right? A decent laptop that doesn't even have to be expensive. You could have went out there this Black Friday and got a decent laptop. I think I seen one at Best Buy for like, it was a smaller one though. I think it was like $190. Those are probably long gone. All right. Or an entry like for like $190 or $200. But then at that time you could probably get a Series S. But if you have a laptop, right, you can download the app, Game Pass on there, get your Game Pass on there and play that way. If you can't afford to get a console right now, you could play on your PC. So any way you think of it, guys, it's a win-win. That's why I always say we're eating good over here. It's a win-win because you could play on anything, any platform. You could play on your TV with the new Samsung TVs that was going to have built in there. You can play on your Series S or X. You can play on the Xbox One X. You can play on the Xbox One S, even if it's old gen. You can still play that Game Pass. You won't be able to play the next gen games, but a lot of games that are still coming out, some of them are still where you could play the newer games that have come out, but that have S and X, and then it has where you could play like the older last gen versions of the game. So if you're a gamer, no matter how much money you have, all right, you can still play on the last gen system and save up for that next gen system, which is an entry form of the Xbox Series S. You know what I mean? And then if you can afford it later, the X. You know what I mean? Because like I said, it's expensive. But that does not mean that you cannot enjoy gaming, especially with Xbox, because you still can enjoy gaming no matter what your preference is. That's why they always said in the beginning there's choices. There's going to be choices. You know what I mean? Big shouts out to the chat, man. I really appreciate you guys rocking out with me. I was trying to get Hebot back in here. I was trying to get other Zinc back in here. Zinc, man, I'm on my laptop, bro, and I don't know how to do it from here. I don't want to bump myself out of here, and you know what I mean, bro. I wish I could do I don't know how to do the Instagram thing on here or something. I think because you're on Instagram, right? And I know you don't have a Facebook. You mean the PS4 at 350? They don't make the Xbox One X anymore. Graphic God, what's up, brother? What's up, Graphic God? Is that Graphic God? What's up, man? Go check out Graphic God, man. I have to give my shout out to Graphic God. It's been a while. I actually want to talk to Graphic God next year in January. Graphic God, if you hear me, man, I need to talk to you. I'm thinking I might want to do something. But I will be talking to you, Graphic God, man. Big shouts out to the Graphic God. He does the best gamer picks out here in the gaming community. He's a really good guy, man. Yeah, just making sure, Graphic God. Just making sure. You know how some people like to make these dummy accounts, man. You know, I gotta tell you something about Graphic God, man. He's really cool, dude. Like when he first did my first gamer pick, we talked on our laptops together. Me and him, he bought certain, probably other Zinc, the OG gamers, we're kind of alike. We like a lot of OG, old school Sega Genesis games, different things like that. Like Graphic God has I think a really cool emulator thing that he does. He was explaining it to me. You know what I mean? And I really clicked with Graphic God. He's a really good guy, man. Not just somebody you know as a gamer, but he's a gentleman. He's a really nice guy, man. And I really clicked with Graphic God. He's so cool. And he does the best gamer picks, and that's no bull crap. He just does. I've seen other people's artwork, and I'm not trying to down other people's artwork because everybody has their own form and way of how they like to present artwork, no matter what they do. But I chose and like Graphic God. I think he's the best in my opinion. Not trying to say anybody's not good, because that's not true. Other people have good stuff, but Graphic God is definitely my pick. So on that note, guys, if you want anything done, intros done, banners, gamer picks, Graphic God is the guy you need to get a hold of. You can reach him on Twitter, Instagram, and he'll hook you up. And then after he does your gamer pick, you can also go to Redbubble and get a t-shirt, mugs. I got a face mask. I actually got a face mask. Different things like that. So talk to our brother Graphic God, man, and he'll hook you up. Now we got our brother Hebot finally back in here before I have to go to work, so I want to talk to him a little more. What's up?
Okay,
man?
who did it? Who was the punk? Let me get him. Let me get him.
What happened?
I was ponyized. That's what happened. They ponyized me. I was baked. Ding. Them ponies can't stand it, boy. You talk about anything, they get mad.
Yeah.
They don't know how to have simple and civil adult conversation without getting upset.
Yeah. I know.
So what I was telling you, my brother, before I was rudely zapped by a pony.
Yeah, what were you saying? What were you saying?
Well, what I was trying to tell you is that's why the digital front and the digital market has been pushed, and people like developers have raved about it in so many ways, saying how much they love it, that it's great, because that digital market, when games sell digitally, you're basically cutting off the third person, the third party, or the third man, if you will.
Yeah.
So if it's put on the Microsoft Store, and let's say it's a game that was done by Ubisoft and developed by Avalanche Studios, then Microsoft takes 25 to 30%, same thing like PlayStation. And then the other 75 or 70% goes to Ubisoft or an Avalanche.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
That is why the digital front is pushed so badly. Because I always hate, and I see this all the time, my brother Sega Man. Hi, my daughter. I see it all the time where they push this narrative, people, right? Where they say, Hold on, I'm having a sip of coffee. I'm
Go ahead.
I'm cringing right now. Well, they always say it. I don't know if you've seen it, my brother, but you probably have because you're very mindful. When people go, oh, they're just pushing the digital games because they want to steal your rights from you. They want you not to have ownership. They want to take away all your games from you.
Yeah.
You hear people say that shit all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And it makes me cringe because I know they only say that because they're not educated, right?
Yeah.
Or because they don't educate themselves enough because they look at video games like, oh, it's just a fucking hobby. It's just something to do. It's not no big deal, which is true when you look at it in the grand scheme of things. If that's going to be the case, then don't open your mouth and say dumb, uneducated things because you're trying to make companies like Microsoft, for example, because that's the one they love to mention. Like they're these big crooks and criminals trying to steal your money and trying to steal your rights, right?
Yeah.
What the reality is they're trying to open up and expand the gaming industry so broad where anybody in the world can reach it and have access to it without having to worry about sending consoles over and import fees. You realize when the Xbox One, the console, right?
Yeah.
And the PS4, when they went out and came out in China, and remember, China had not had any consoles sales for almost 15 years.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yes.
Do you realize that when they put that out in China, the Xbox One console cost almost $800
Phew.
to buy? And that's American. We're not talking about Chinese money. That's American dollars over there. It costs $800.
That's a
So-
lot, man.
That's one of the biggest reasons why they were pushing for creating a service so that people didn't have to feel the hurt of having to buy a console that's that much money, that they wouldn't have to feel the impact of having to ship out a console in a nice big quantity to these countries where they're paying a shitload of money for just customs. Basically, they pay a shitload of money, and then the consoles don't sell. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they were trying to figure out a way to eliminate that problem, and that's why they created services like Game Pass and the option to play like on cloud gaming. That was the whole thing, because a lot of places also don't have internet connection still, or good internet, believe it or not, in these other countries, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they wanted to make sure that they could try to get to people through a service where they don't feel left out. They don't feel like they got to spend an arm and a leg and give up their fucking retirement money just to play a game on a console. You see?
Yeah.
There's much more to the story than just simple black and white. And I hate when I see people be like, oh, they just want to steal your rights. They're fucking crooks and criminals. Yes, at the end of the day, they're here to make money. Absolutely. But if you educate yourself, you'll understand. And if you've been paying attention to Philly Phil, right? Phil Spencer,
Yeah.
you understand, you see that his messaging has been the exact same messaging the entire time.
Yeah.
Have people changed some of the things he said? And people try to change his words? Absolutely. Have he said certain things that he had to retract on? Of course. It's like anything. No, nothing is perfect. No business is perfect. There's been times when businesses do something, bring out a product. For example, good example. How long have you been looking for that Fruity Pebbles creamer that I told you about?
Oh, dude, I can't find that shit anywhere.
Exactly.
I can't.
Because
I've
more
tried.
than likely, what ended up happening was they made a deal with Post Cereal
Right.
to bring it out, right, in collaboration. Either Post wanted more money, or they said, no, we don't want you to do it, or it didn't do well. Because now you don't see it. And it was everywhere. They have Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, and creamer, and this shit was phenomenal. It tasted great. But now you don't see it. That's why you haven't had a chance to even find it. Because I've been looking for it for a year to send it to you, and I haven't found it either.
Yeah. You can't find it.
Can't find it.
Right.
The same thing. It's the same thing and the same logic when it comes to the gaming industry. When things don't work out, they back off. They stop making games. They cancel them out. That's why so many developers also closed down right after the 360 generation because games weren't selling enough. They cost way more to make, and physical copies was the only thing available in the forefront at that point. Because like digital market, yeah, it started to exist, but it was more on the indie space with smaller titles. It wasn't until the Xbox One version and 3 generation and the PS4 where it got so big and broad where you can get every single game, even the big titles, day and date digitally, right?
Yeah.
That's when it started to expand to a whole new level. So that is the reason why so many companies closed down. I'll give you a perfect example. The game Murder Soul Suspect was published by Square Enix, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
That developer released the game, and that very same day they released that game when the Xbox One generation. And that very same day they announced that they had to close down the studios because the game didn't sell. They had no pre-orders, none. The game just flopped. Tanked.
Yeah.
If it sold 1,000 copies, it was probably a whole lot. Just to put it into perspective, 1,000 copies it probably sold.
Yeah.
That is sad because it's actually a really good game and very different and unique. And more people should have tried it because it was still early on when we didn't have a lot of things yet. But it was more importantly a brand new IP, right? But people don't try it. Then they're like, well, why we don't get new IP? They keep making the same games over and over again. Then that becomes a narrative.
Yeah.
Because you motherfuckers don't buy it.
Yeah, you don't try.
You want new shit, but you don't want to buy it.
Yeah.
Right? And that's also something that Phil Spencer and the data that they have at Microsoft, they also saw that. So they said, well, how can we beat that? How can we combat that? We make a service where we can add games to it, day and date, new, old, third party, first party, AAA, independent, all types of publishing types of people and all types of genres and all types of budgets. Let's put it on there, and this way people can pay a monthly fee and discover these games, not feel scared to go out and buy a game. Because the reality is a lot of times people don't buy games because even though it may look good, the game may end up being so-so or not really that great.
Yeah.
So they're afraid, and rightfully so, to go and spend $60 on a game, and then the game turns out to be a piece of trash, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Aurora of Time says,
Yeah.
the Fruity Pebbles, the creamer was the truth. Yes, it was. I liked it. I told my brother I was so surprised. That shit was good.
God
It was
damn it. I
good.
wouldn't even know. I can't find that anywhere.
I feel so bad. I feel so bad because I was the one that put you on and you didn't get to try it. But anyway, it is good. Surprisingly, it was better than what I thought.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Rain 4G? Rain G4. Ponies in the chat. Aren't they always? So again, it's one of those things where, yeah, rightfully so, people didn't want to spend money, and that's the reason why people are so apprehensive or adamant of buying games day and date for that price. So they figured, well, let's figure it out. Let's do something. And they did. They offered a sort of Netflix style based system and service for gamers. Instead of Netflix that you go and you have to send it out, wait 5 days to get the new game and then send it back out after you played it for 5 days. When ultimately at the end of the day, you end up getting maybe 3 games a month and you're paying, what was it? I think it's $25 for the month or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
And you really end up getting 4 games a month, maybe 3 if you're lucky, and that's it. So why not do it directly to them where they can directly get it to using the online services through servers and add the games on servers? And that's what they did. That's what they created. Yeah. Everybody, including me, including us in our crew, we were like, yo, I don't know how this is going to make the money because You're putting in a service day and date. And they need these games to sell because they cost money to make. So how the fuck are they going to make money? We all were skeptical. All of us. All of us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And what happened? We've been proven wrong.
Yeah.
But they just made the report that as of last year, I think it was for the first year or quarter of the year, that they made $2.6 billion in Game Pass. Just in subscriptions alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that means it's successful. And it's just one of the arcs that Microsoft has that makes the money. You know, they got plenty of other stuff they do that makes the money. But this is more important because it's part of the gaming division, right?
Right.
So it benefits us as the gamers. So again, you know, to think that games are not going to go up in price, especially physical, right?
Yeah.
Or even digital, whatever. It is pretty ignorant because, again, prices haven't gone up for over 20 years since I think 2003.
That's a long time.
Yeah, we never had a price increase since then. And I also remember when they were trying to bring up the prices for the Xbox Live. Remember?
Yeah.
And I said very clearly when we saw that, I said, look, I'm trying to bring up the price for Xbox Live. Hey, Graphic God, how are you? Happy birthday, by the way, you old man.
Hey, I didn't know. Happy birthday, Graphic God.
Mm-hmm. So another thing is, you know, that you got to take into consideration that when they said they were going to bring up the price for Xbox Live Gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's something that's more optional than anything, people cried about it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too much.
I remember.
It's going to be 120 for the year or for the month. That's too much. Whatever the case may be. Or actually, it was for the year because it was $60 for the year. And I'm like, no, that's not a lot because you can always get it in other places like CD Keys, and you could buy it with your Bing points. That's not really a lot, right?
Yep.
I also said that since they started Xbox Live in the OG, there's never been an increase, right?
Yeah.
And then the first thing people say, well, why you think they doing that? Oh, because they're trying to steal your money. No, because they're going to try to help and use the money that they make from that to help get revenue to continue to feed Game Pass and paying publishers.
Yeah.
Because it only makes sense, right? Because Game Pass is still, although it's doing well and it's almost at 30 million subscribers, it's in its infancy. It's like a little baby starting to learn how to walk. It's still brand new. So clearly, they're not going to make as much money as they can once it's all full blown with all the big AAA day and day back to back, which will happen within the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Right? So how are they going to make up for that cost? Paying publishers that are third-party publishers to actually put the games there. How are they going to pay for exclusivities or timed exclusivities? They need the money to come from somewhere. Because although Microsoft is $1 trillion company, every division has a certain amount of money they could use every year. They don't have unlimited applied money that, oh, yeah, you can use it whenever the fuck you want, right?
Right.
So again, when you see that, right, and that approach, you realize, well, you know, it's for the benefit of developers and gamers, not just gamers, but both. So developers are protected and also are saved. Meanwhile, gamers still get to get great games. How can you argue with that notion or with that idea? How can you get upset at it? It just doesn't make no sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the boy, you know, that dude, not that, so Alex or whatever his name is, that loves talking about us, especially E-Rock, because he butthurt him. Because he butthurt him when he called him a racist or whatever.
Yeah.
He said a stupid comment, oh, you know, the games are $70, and when you see they drop real quick to like 40 or 50, that means they could have sold it for that price and made money from the get-go. And I was like, no, that's not it at all. When you see a game drop, literally 2 weeks later, that's because the game is not selling.
Right.
So what they're trying to do is They're trying to make sure that they break even, make the game sell some at least a nice amount at a lower cost, so they can break even before the game becomes diminished returns. Especially if it's a brand new game, because that's where the most money goes to, right?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That's where the most of the money goes to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you have to download it. You're right. You have to download it, but they're not. They're now the games are in the actual hard drive, are actually in the disc. Like a lot of the Xbox One games are actually on the disc. So you just download it to your hard drive, but you could play it. You don't need an internet connection, for example, or you don't need to access it to the internet. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But there are games, you're right, Rain, that are games like, like online only, that it's pointless. There's no even point in buying them because it's a dead disc. It's basically an empty disc. It's right. He's right. Call of Duty's like that. The new one is the same way.
Oh, it is?
But again, to get to the point I was trying to say, you can't argue with that fact because developers need to make money in order to continue to make more games.
Yeah.
How are they going to fund their next project? How are they going to be able to get paid to feed their family? They need to make money.
Yeah.
If not, they shut down. It's that simple. It's not rocket science. It's not no conspiracy. It's not, oh my God, Xbox is trying to steal your fucking rights, your money. They're trying to rob you. It's none of that shit. Okay? But people like, oh, that's so Alex, that's more PC, PC centric, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That are more PC centric, right? He says that because he has that mindset of the PC community where most developers self-publish their games, right? Meaning they pay for the money to be published for themselves out of their own pocket. But for that reason, there's no quality control. And a lot of the PC market has a lot of games, although they have a few that are good, they have a lot more that are just basically shovelware, which are not that great, that are crappy, that are mediocre, and yet they're being priced at high prices like 30, 40, and 50 bucks.
Yeah.
That's what happened during the crash with Atari back in the early 80s, right? Because of the same thing. There was no quality control.
I remember that.
They were making all these games that were shit and still charging you 50 and 60 bucks even back then, right? Because people think that back then, right, that some games weren't expensive. I remember when I wanted the Star Wars Atari game, my parents didn't buy it for me because it was like $80 in Atari.
Yeah.
Back then.
Mm-hmm.
And the place where they were going to buy it for me, right?
Yeah.
Which was like a mom and pop store with like toy store, local, and he had it for like 80 bucks. So this, the prices being high is not a new thing. Just like when we had the Neo Geo come out in Panasonic 3DO, those games were like $150, $250, $170. They were expensive.
I remember that.
They were expensive, and that's why those game consoles failed because the games were just too expensive.
Way too expensive.
The Nintendo 64, I don't even know how the Nintendo 64 survived. Because I remember clear as day when I went to get Mortal Kombat Trilogy, I think it was.
Yeah.
Or was it Mortal Kombat 4? The one that became 3D for the first time.
That was 4.
I think it was 4, right?
Yeah.
Right? That game was $94.99 in my local EB Games and electronic boutiques.
No way.
That's how much it cost.
I wouldn't pay that. No way.
And so if you bought that game, that's the only game you could afford for a long while. But people bought it because the 64 did decent enough to stay for a while.
Yeah, it did.
I remember when Mario 3D, the Mario game came out, Mario 64.
Yeah.
That game was like $74.99.
I had it, yeah.
It was like $74.99. When Rave Racer came out, that was like $70. The Pilot game, Pilot Wings, remember?
Yeah, I remember.
It was a couple. When Star Fox came out, that you had to buy the expansion pack. It was like over $100.
Yeah.
So again, This is not new territory for gaming. Gaming is an expensive hobby, but we need to start to remember that gaming is not a necessity. It's a luxury. So for us to sit here and complain, oh, you're charging us all this money, you really don't have a fight in saying that, because it's a choice. Gaming is a luxury. You don't have to buy games.
Nope.
They're not there for you to have to buy them. They're there for you to buy them at your leisure if you really enjoy it and want to buy it. So don't complain if you know it's not forced down your throat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a hobby. For me, gaming is a luxury. When I can sit down and play a game, whether it's for half an hour, whether it's for an hour, whether it's for 2 hours, that is a luxury for me. I am having a luxurious time and moment because gaming is a luxury.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am lucky to be able to play these games because it's a luxury.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not a priority. And that's why when I see people complain about it, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Plus, like you said earlier, my brother, we have the privilege of having Game Pass.
Yeah. We really
You
do.
understand?
We really do.
So Game Pass liberates us from having to buy games day and date, because either if we're skeptical that it might not be that good, if we lost our job and can't afford it,
Right.
if we have to prioritize rent or groceries so we can't really buy it.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Definitely know what you're trying to say.
So it eliminates all that. And then it also gives you the privilege and the option that if we do buy it, we're able to buy it at our own leniency and convenience. We buy it when we have the money. We buy it when we're able to. We're not forced to do it day and day.
That's right.
And we also get offered discounts if you buy it digitally right from Game Pass. You know what I mean? You get like a 20 or 15% discount.
Yeah.
So again, you know, not to sound like a broken record, having options is not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. And them raising the price, it only makes sense because these games are going to get more and more sophisticated and expensive.
I know.
They have to try to make up for the cost some way, somehow, because games have been priced the same, again, like I said to you, since like 2003, 2001. They haven't gone up in price. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know how people are even having the nerve to complain and say anything, especially if they're Nintendo heads or if they're PlayStation heads, because Nintendo, you pay $60, $70 for a game that's far less superior than anything that you see on Xbox or PlayStation. As far as technology-wise, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Graphics
Yeah.
and things of that nature.
It's true.
And they'll still pay for it with no problem, as happy as can be, and don't complain or don't get mad. But you want to complain about Microsoft when they give you some other options like Game Pass? It just doesn't make no sense.
I'll never understand that, Heba. I will never understand that.
No, because it doesn't make sense. You're never going to understand it because it just logically, as two men that are grown as hell, that have a lot of experience, how the fuck are you going to get mad of being able to play more games for a fraction of the cost on your console?
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not saying every game on Game Pass is, you know, a masterpiece or super quality. No,
Yeah,
no,
of course not. Yeah, of course not.
It's like Netflix. You got thousands and thousands of shows, but not every show is going to be something that's quality or to your liking, right?
Mm-hmm.
The point of it is that we have it there and we have the option. Again, if we lose our job, if we have to prioritize getting stuff for our families, like in your case and my case, if we have to prioritize paying the rent, buying groceries, and yet we still can come home boot up our console and play games like Plague Tales Requiem or
Yeah.
play games like Gungrave Gore. I had
Yeah.
I had somebody on my comment section say, "Man, I really hate that PlayStation hasn't stepped it up. That they don't put good games that are new the way that Xbox does with Game Pass day one, so that we can play on our service."
That's what it really
He
hurt.
said, you know, the PlayStation guy
Yeah.
was being absolutely honest on my comment section and said that. I said, yeah, you know what? You're right. PlayStation does need to step it up because you guys pay for the service, and the least they can do is give you something worth your while,
Right. Exactly.
you know? And
They
this was
won't
a
do it.
PlayStation guy on my comment section. He didn't come to troll me. He didn't come to be an asshole like a lot of them do. He came to say, I'm jealous, basically, and disappointed that Microsoft, hello, dama, ¿qué tal? Can have games day and date there that are quality. Meanwhile, on PlayStation's PSN service, they don't have nothing worth the while that's new day and date.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I thought it took courage, and it was really humbling, and really genuine of him as a PlayStation fan to be honest enough and comment and being honest.
Yeah.
He wasn't being a dick. See, I can respect a PlayStation fan like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at least he's being honest.
That's good. You hardly get that though.
Not the ones that be like, oh,
Yeah.
I love paying $70 for one game. I don't care if I'm broke and I don't have no money. Like, get the hell out of here with that nonsense. Please stop it.
Thank you, the realist. I appreciate it, man.
What happened?
He subscribed to me.
Hello. Yeah, man. Like, for real. Like, these dudes, like, you really gonna sit there and have us believe that you are happy and prefer. Hello, how are you? Now you are happy or prefer to pay $75 with tax to get one game so that you can beat it in, like, let's say, a week, and
Yeah.
then you have nothing else to play. You really gonna sit there and say that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're in denial. They
That's
know they wrong.
you know they're lying.
They're not. Yeah, you know they're lying.
You're just straight lying. Hello. They're straight lying. Period. Period. You're straight lying.
Like you said before, get an Xbox.
Like, I'm not saying don't go out and support your developers and buy the game. Hey, if you want to buy and support them, that's how it's supposed to be. That's not a problem. Go ahead, by all means, buy it. But
Yeah.
don't speak for the entire world, because there's some people that are not economically stable. There's some people that are struggling more than others. There's some cases where a single parent, whether it's a mother or a father, maybe can't afford to buy games all the time for their child or their grandkids or their nephews, and they want to go and buy them something and they can have something to play. And something like Game Pass works wonders.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Plus, when they buy games, they're digital. They don't have to worry about the space or where they're going to place the games. If they don't have nowhere to put it, they live like in a small area. There's just a lot of benefits for a lot of different reasons, for a lot of different people, in a lot of different situations. So we can't be so selfish and self-centered and be like, oh, nah, gaming just for me. It has to cater to my thoughts or my needs, and that's it. Fuck everybody else. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't do that. So again, the price went up. Okay.
You there? Hebot, you there? Might have lost Hebot there. Let me see if I can get. Other Zinkin. Maybe I did this right. I don't know. Hebot is still in here. I don't know what I did, Zink, but you can try. He'll be back. He'll be back. I think I sent it. I think I sent it right. There's Hebot.
Can you hear me? Oh, hell.
I can hear you.
What I was trying to say is, so, okay, the game is $70. Then don't buy it. Wait until it's on sale.
Yeah.
Or in our case, you just play it on Game Pass. And when you have the money, then you buy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not hard. You know? Microsoft is talking about their games. You know what I mean? And it's not like every game that comes out is going to be that price entry, because there's a lot of games that come out that are not expensive. Like, for example, you got Gears High Busters. That was only $20, right?
Yeah.
When the Medium came out. When the Medium came out, that was only a $30 game, right? When Falconeer came out,
Yeah.
that was only like a $25, $30 game. When Crossfire X came out, that was only a $25, $30 game. The Gunk, that was like a $20 game. You know what I'm saying? The only real games that I know that was $60 full price was Flight Simulator, Forza Horizon 5, Halo Infinite, and they were all on Game Pass. You know what I mean? They were all on. And to this day, I haven't been able to buy. To this day, I haven't been able to buy. What the heck is called? The Forza Horizon physical.
Oh, okay. You don't have it physical?
Not yet.
Which one? 5?
Yeah, the latest one that came out.
Yeah.
I have all the other ones. We never bought the latest one physical. I forgot what it was. We couldn't do it at the time. And I don't have Halo Infinite physical either. But that's because the Infinite disc is pretty much empty.
He is? Yeah. We got
Because
Brother
of
Zink in here for 5 minutes.
Yeah, Brother Zink.
I'm in here.
Yeah, what's up, Zink?
Way to go, Sega man. Look.
I did it, man.
Hey, man, let me.
That's how I'm gonna do it from now on. I got you in, man. What's up?
Hey, let me look here, man.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man.
I have to go. I have to be at work, but you know what? Fuck work. This is more important. Hey, you know what? Just like I got in on the tail end. I pulled over. I'm in the damn park. I'm pulling a Hebot. I'm Hebot. Call me Hebot. I'm on the fucking road. Hey, look here, man. Let me tell you something.
Oh.
Listen, what's that dude Vodka hook? First of all, Vodka hooked me up on damn near everybody. Vodka hooked me up on this other dude. He just had a show this past weekend with Six Layer and them, one of E-Rock's boys. What's this dude's name?
Okay.
You talking about Dragon?
No.
Fireballs?
No. I think Fireballs and Emmanuel A1 was on the show. Six Layer's been on the show. He had Paris on the show. And you were on the show and I got mad at you for giving
you're talking about
Paris
legal. You're talking about legal. You're talking about legal.
Hey, now I came in on Legal show and I didn't rewind it yet to hear the beginning of what they were specifically talking about. But he was mad. The gist of it to me was he was mad at a few of us that we don't call people out by name. Let's start calling these motherfuckers out.
Yeah.
Hey, and you know I call people out by name, but collectively as a group, let's start pointing them out. Hey, let's go to let's go to Zalker 87. Hey Zalker, you did not have this much vigor when Sony raised their prices 2 years ago. You didn't have this much angst and vigor of a $10. Hey guys, all of us that know some court documentation. Hey, how long? Hey, look, Microsoft had a
Isn't that
stay.
one of Dealer's boys, Zolker?
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
I like Zalker, and Zalker
Yeah,
has
yeah, yeah.
pissed me
Well,
off. Zalker pissed me off on a couple things, but nonetheless,
he's one of the more
actually like
likable
Zalker.
ones, right?
But but Zalker, dude, every time it's up to Microsoft, he has a little extra. Has a lot more extra for him. Same thing with Fonzarelli. He have a lot more extra.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh,
vigor
Fonzarelli. Ooh, ooh.
for Xbox. Dude, of course prices are going to go up, but Microsoft produced a stay of prices for 2 years. What product do you know that's under this sun, under this great sun that heats our solar system and is essential for survival? Name me one product that hasn't raised their prices in 2 years. Just name me one. Dude, the dollar store has gone up to $1.35.
Yeah. Even the
Shut
dollar
the
store.
fuck up. Okay. And then they offer you a $10 price hike with the caveat of a balance. Okay. That's the sign of a $1 trillion company, is to offer balance with a price hike. Since they raised prices, guess what? You can still get that shit free in Game Pass. Now, I do feel for my guys like Sega Man 101, TK9. What's that other, the green dude on our team, the Unlimited Production, that like to go to Toys R Us. Oh, Toys R Us isn't there.
Me too. I'm another one.
Yeah, you're another one. But they like to go to Toys R Us, and I'm saying Toys R Us to prove a point.
As an example.
Toys R Us, that is my favorite store ever. Okay. Now you have to go to my second favorite store, Walmart. Third favorite store, Best Buy, to buy a product because Toys R Us isn't here. Now, I feel for them that the prices have gone up to $10, but here's what you get. He-Bot alluded to this earlier when I was scrambling around trying to get some things done. He-Bot alluded to prices and how things go up. Hey, you're getting better technology. It's not like you hear how all of these guys like to praise God of War for a polished game. Hey, He-Bot, since you're almost my age, what would you tell somebody, the creators of Pac-Man? Hey man, I know you released this Pac-Man game in 2022. I know Pac-Man came out in the 70s, but it's awesome that you released this old ass game with polish. The same fucking game. Shut your ass up. God of War is a PS4 game that does absolutely 100% nothing new. So what have they done? They have done nothing. All they did was take like trophies back, and I have a lot of trophies, so have my kids. Trophies back in the day were true silver. I mean, they're giving kids trophies with silver on them. You taking a trophy from 1908 and you polishing it. Damn, look what I created. No shit. It's already created. Get the fuck out of here. But then, and then Horizon Forbidden West, that garbage was $70.
Yeah.
And they created a grapple hook that you could use selectively. And it's up for Game of the Year.
The Gran Turismo.
Dude,
what, $70, and it was an online only game.
Hey, I appreciate you jumping in and punching me in the face. I was getting to that. But Gran Turismo, hey, He-Bot, Gran Turismo.
I'm adding to what you're saying. I'm not punching you. I'm by you.
No, I felt it.
I'm by your side like the Avengers right now.
He-Bot, but you missed and you punched me like Robin to punch Batman every now and again. When Batman was real back in the 70s, we used to watch that bullshit Adam West and Burt Ward.
Yeah, the camaraderie. Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Hey, He-Bot. Gran Turismo is a true DLC to Gran Turismo Sport from 2017. Yeah. And you can't tell me I'm making this shit up. It's a fact. The newest car of the game that released in 2022 is a Camaro that was a 2018 Camaro. So what did y'all do new, Gran Turismo? What you do new, Polyphony Digital? And then Destin Legary, Tuckmaster's favorite friend. No, I'll take Destin. I'll take Destin. I'll take Destin. Destin. He didn't offer. He says Gran Turismo is a great game. It don't do shit new, Destin. It even launched without all of the tracks. It still doesn't have one of the top 3 most iconic tracks on the planet earth, which is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's
Watch
still not on
this.
Gran Turismo. So what you do new, man? But all of these people, man, everybody, Boom's entire show, except for I think this one guy said a good point that was said in the chat here. That's why I like the chat. The chat is have some intelligent comments.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Hell
so
yeah, they
that's
do.
why I love the chat. But Boom's, everybody was killing Microsoft for this. You're $1 trillion company. Why are you raising prices? Hey, listen, I tell you what. Here's the thing. Microsoft wants to be here forever. Microsoft doesn't want to become. I'm gonna talk over a few people's heads with these first two. Microsoft doesn't want to become Montgomery Ward's, Woolworth, Kresge's, Toys R Us,
Two guys. Star World.
Sears.
Nobody beats the Wiz.
Kmart.
Shit,
Yeah.
Lord and Taylor.
JC Penney is about to get the fuck up out of here. Carson's. Okay.
Circuit City.
Hey, dude, this grocery store in my area called Tittles. That motherfucker hasn't been here since I was 5 years old. Shut your stupid ass up. Here, listen to this. Microsoft is building on something, yet giving us deals. Okay, Sony, they're raising prices to no avail. So let's say Microsoft is $1 trillion company. It'll take years, but let's say Microsoft, since everybody think they're $1 trillion company, Coca-Cola is worse. Coca-Cola had the same great formula for decades, and it hasn't changed. No beverage you could put in your mouth other than a chick tastes better than Coca-Cola.
Shit, Coca-Cola went up in price. I remember getting a can for like 25 cents.
Hey, hold on. Hebot, let me jump in here. Coca-Cola has bottles for $2.19 when we used to pay 25 for this shit back in the day, man.
Sir. We used to pay 75 cents.
And check it out. We don't even get the glass bottle, which is the purest form of Coca-Cola.
The purest way to drink it. Yes.
We don't even get it. Now the bottle is expensive as shit. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, would they give us plastic for $2.19?
Yeah.
Okay. Everything. Let's say this.
That's a fact.
Microsoft is the way they are, and they're a $2+ trillion corporation. Sony is the way they are, and that's why they're $2 trillion in debt. I'm very excited for Sony to hurry up and get the fuck out of here. And I don't know if you guys heard this morning that Microsoft signed a deal with Nintendo for 10 years. They signed a deal with Steam for 10 years.
Wow.
Then the guy said this. He said, "We'll talk to Sony whenever they decide."
He made it into a joke saying, "We got the doors open, Sony. If you want to make a deal, we're up for it. We can sit down and talk."
10 years for what?
A 10-year deal to put Call of Duty on.
Yeah, to put Call of Duty. They're gonna put Call of Duty back on Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
Right. Go ahead, Ebot. No,
I was gonna say I believe they're gonna do it through like streaming, because obviously the Nintendo Switch is not as powerful, but they'll do it via the streaming.
I think that's why they said to Nintendo and not to the Nintendo Switch, because it could be to the new Nintendo. But I agree. I don't see why they couldn't stream that on there and put it on some form
like
of
they did with Guardians. Yeah,
they just won't be able to play with us. They have to play with them by themselves. You know what I'm saying? But
but Nintendo was. Listen, that's another. Me and Unlimited talked about this last night. That's another proof there that deal is going to go through forward, because they can't make a deal with Nintendo if there's no way that this is going through.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
Hey, Hebot, you. I put this in Destin's comment section. I said, Destin, you didn't tell the truth. I said you were wrong in your first 25 seconds of this show. I said Microsoft didn't sign a deal with Nintendo and Steam to appease regulators. They signed that deal to let the CMA, the EU, the FTC, and Jason Schreier know nothing is going to stop this Activision acquisition. So we're already moving forward, with or without you.
Right.
They don't. Right. And just like Satya, people like to pick and choose Satya Nadella's words and harp on it. The first thing Satya Nadella said was, when an NBC or MSNBC or the CNN lady asked him a question about, oh, don't you have to have concession? Satya's leaned back in his chair, like, bruh, we don't have to have any concessions. We just gonna do this shit. Nobody likes to say that. No, people want, and then people take him saying, let us compete out of context as if he were asking you a question. He was being rhetorical because of people like Hebot's favorite, Ryan McCaffrey, Sega Man's favorite, Jeff Grubb, my favorite, Destin Legary, E-Rock's favorite, IGN. Who else can we throw under the bus? Anybody else, we're going to give them the Tuck Master, T Reaper, and Kotaku, they favorite people. They told all of these people when he said, those people that I just named, those people have always said, hey, Microsoft isn't competing. They heard all of this shit. They heard all of these things. So he rhetorically said, everybody wanted competition, so let us compete. He was saying, fuck you. This is the best way I can tell you we were always competing, no matter whether you listen to Destin or all of those wrong ass jokers that wrote that bullshit article that was not a quote. When they said, oh, Microsoft is going out of business, they were never going out of business ever. Here's another thing that they let slip by and nobody's talking about.
Just like he threw a 1-2 punch at the end. Remember also, brother.
Hey, he thought it was worse.
He said we're gonna keep acquiring too. He said that too.
He bought, didn't he? And he said no. That's not what he did. Sega Man, I just called Hebot in a lie. That's not what the quote was. He said, I'm gonna steal this from Cool J. He said, this story is over, but my rhyme ain't done. And then he started pimping on his way off the set. It's like, yeah, we're gonna keep buying shit. Okay. But dude, they just punching. Oh, back to what I was gonna say. You remember I told you guys a long time ago that Bill Gates was serious about this business?
Yeah.
He was when Bill Gates puts his face on something, it's gonna stay there. And I told people, Bill Gates is not like Steve Jobs. He have a foothold on his company that he created. He hasn't been there in about 12 years, but they go by his song and dance when they have to.
Yeah.
Now, did you guys hear that Bill Gates made a few calls and a few appearances and throwing his weight around? He was like, hey, bro, what y'all doing? What is this I'm hearing that y'all thinking about not letting this deal go through? How you figure? First of all, it's not about Call of Duty. It's not about Candy Crush. It's about saving a company that's failing, that's mired in lawsuits today. Okay,
and that's a legacy company because it's been around for so long,
decades. Hebot. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. Say that again.
No, he's talking. There's somebody talking.
Yeah, he said, and the thing is, how are you? We are not going to let any foreign country be in control of tens of thousands of employees and businesses going out of business or depreciating epically in value in our country between two American companies. It's not going to happen. That's why the day Phil said we're buying Activision, I knew this shit was done. It was completely over and nothing could stop it. Absolutely nothing. When you have 98% of your shareholders voting for a sale, and one of those investors that holds 17% is Warren Buffett, oh no, this deal gonna pass, bro.
Oh yeah.
You can, and I don't even want to say anything against that lady Nina Khan, or however you say her name. I don't want to say anything from her because I haven't heard her speak. I just don't trust journalists.
Let me get the slippers.
I don't trust anything they say. So I want to hear from her before I dog her out. Because if she did say these things, she'll be looking for a new job. Let this go to court and let her get blasted. She's going to be looking for a new job.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude, man. I'm glad you had a show, man. This has been weighing on me, man. It feels like something was wrong with one of my kids.
I'm doing a triple right now.
I heard that. I was running around the house. I was forgetting shit, and I heard you being on everything. Hey, man, dude, look, this stuff is killing me. It's not killing me, of course. That's figuratively speaking.
Mhm.
Like you said earlier, Hebot. I love video games with a passion greater than most. But at the same time, if all the electricity disappeared today, so what?
Hey, Zink.
All right, got to keep it moving.
Hey, Zink, why
Yeah.
would they
Yeah.
even come out and make a statement saying, pointing the finger, your games are going up when your games went up before ours? And
I don't because they're mad because all this time they've been paying $70 since day one.
And
So,
then
so now they're like that little kid in school. Oh, y'all gotta pay $70 now, and you were talking shit about us when that was never the case. We were talking about how they were charging even for freaking like updates, right?
Yeah.
the extortion. They were
And things
killing
that
them,
were being
Hebot.
given to us for free on Xbox.
Correct.
Because we were
Hey,
still giving
Hebot.
a smart delivery for free and things of that nature.
Oh,
Right?
no. Hey, there you go, lying again, Sega man. Hey, dude, smart delivery is what did they say it was? A buzzword.
Um,
Oh, I forgot.
Smart delivery is a buzzword until they saw that shit working. Not a buzzword
yeah,
anymore,
they thought
huh?
it was like some bullshit,
Yeah, buzzword.
hokey doke shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then as soon as
okey-doke
they
is a
saw it, they're
better
like, "What?"
word. It's like, damn, this shit actually
Mm-hmm.
work. You know? Yeah, man. But dude, I'm so glad you had this, dude, because I had to get this. I had to get this off my chest, man. I mean, and back to what Hebot was just talking about they saying, and you, Sega man, asking Sony fans saying, aha, and then I didn't hear this on nobody's show. Here, well, I heard it a couple times, but they still vigorously dogged Microsoft like they stole their kids 35 cents for their lunch money. Listen to me, 35 cents. 35 cents is what we used to pay for lunch money back in the day. Now that bitch probably $2. Hey, anyway, uh, in school. Anyway, they want to chastise Microsoft to the nth degree. And here they're still giving you day and date games in the Game Pass. Then here's what they like to do now. They like to set up our demise, even though it won't happen for 2 years. Like this price hike didn't happen for 2 years. Now they're trying to set up for Game Pass. Game Pass better not go up in price. Hey, dude, Sony's service is more expensive than ours. And not only is it more expensive, they don't even drop. Hey, God of War ain't in that. Ragnarok is not in that gaming service, is it?
Nope.
So where's the value? That's what I was saying to the guy earlier today, saying he wouldn't pay $70 for a game. I would, but I don't want to. But I understand we haven't had a price increase in what? He bought 22, Sega man, 22 years or
around that.
long 25 years?
Yeah.
So I knew a price hike was coming at some point in time. But like I said, when you offer that balance, that buffer, and you still offer that same game for free, this is what I was going to say. Hey, they're raising the price of games like Forza Motorsport 2023,
Yeah.
Redfall, and Starfield.
You know me and you're gonna buy those, right? Because I'm buying that shit physical.
Dude, I'm buying all three of those games, but the Sega, the Forza Motorsport, I'm buying the collector's edition. I don't care what it costs.
Is there gonna be one, Zink?
It have to be. That's that's
I'm
my
gonna
game.
buy it.
That's my favorite game. So that's gonna get copped. But here's the thing, Sega man and Hebot. Here's the thing. They're giving you a true next generation RDNA2 game for $70. That's not going to be on the PS4. It's not going to be on the Xbox One. It's not going to be on any of those lore form products. None of them. And no one is saying that. And then people like Boomstick said that if that game would have dropped when it was supposed to, it would have been $60. Correct. And we would have got a multi-platform game because that game had to be made on that weak ass last generation PS5 that does not have RDNA2. So now they revamped that game. And if you see, people don't listen. If you listen to that Todd Howard interview, don't reference the Todd Howard interview and pick things from it if you didn't listen to the interview. like Fonzarelli Gaming didn't fully listen, and I busted his ass out, and Gaz was over there trying to hate on me.
Oh,
But hey,
really?
but it's effective when you leave a few key words out. Okay, it's effective. Like unlimited production is an accountant.
Right.
Unlimited production better not tell somebody, hey, this price is $104 when it's really $1,004. Okay.
Yeah.
That mistake better not be made. Unlimited can't make a mistake if something is 20, if he leave 24 cents off something,
Yeah.
because it won't balance. His ledger won't balance. Okay. So you have a true next gen game that Microsoft took another year to make. Hey, Boomstick, what do you think? Where do you think that cost is going to come from to fully make that game RDNA 2 only compatible, so you get rid of the PS5 last gen stench? Huh?
Yeah.
That costs money. And then he told them, he said, hey, the Xbox development team that created the Xbox Series X and S, they said, we're going to help you make this game great, because now it's specifically being revamped to be only on the Xbox. That's what you're paying for. Okay.
Yeah.
And like the other guy said, I expected Halo to be different. It was. We've never had an open world Halo. And like the one thing I was mad at Dealer about, where's the ray tracing on Halo? Hey, Halo is an open world game. God of War is not. Where's the ray tracing on God of War?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Hey, where's the ray tracing on Gran Turismo 7 2022? Hebot's favorite game. Where's the ray tracing on that? You know, they had ray tracing on Forza Motorsport 7 5 years ago on
Yeah.
the Xbox One
I
X,
know.
but it was in disguise. Okay, it
Yeah.
was in disguise, and that's why they talked about how they created the sky in Forza Motorsport, and they said you'll never see the same formation in that game. Okay, something simple like that, but I knew it was a test for things to come. Just
Right.
like people see us playing Gears 5 all the time. Gears 5 Horde is something new going on in that game
Love that
every
game.
single time.
Love
Hey
it.
man, you know how a Cold Train could set the board on fire, right?
Yeah, man.
I
Yeah.
I threw a firebomb in this room. It exploded, and the fire was dripping off the top of the doorway canopy. I had
Yeah.
never seen that before.
Yeah. The
I mean,
physics is good in there.
man, they do so many little things in that game, and I noticed something different at minimum once a month in that game. But man, I'm so glad you had this show, dude.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Because I wanted to have it a little earlier today because I got to go to work too.
Yeah, and that's all I was about to say. When your ass have to go to work? Hey, I'm sitting here and I'm
What
working
time you got to be
outside
at work, Zink?
2 hours ago.
Oh shit! You didn't get in trouble, are you?
Nope, this is more important.
Man.
I always work to stay ahead, man.
Yeah,
You
man.
know, I should be finished with that job today. I was supposed to be finished with it next week sometime. So
Okay.
when I get to work, man, my black ass go to work to go to work. I don't go to work to take lunch and sit around and talk. I'm like, shit, I got something I'm always trying to figure out how I could get home to play some damn games or something.
Rain said Kratos has AARP.
He does. He damn sure does. Man, I'm so glad, and I'm so glad.
Hey, anytime you want to come in, Zink, I can do it now. Now to do it now.
Yeah, and man, I usually I can't come on when you come on, and you ask me to come on. I'm like, man, I just want to fall back and listen to you guys. Yeah, I just want to listen to y'all sometime because it's good entertainment, man.
Man.
Listening to y'all. So, and I like to be in there with the chat, but when I'm on the road like this, I can't be in the chat. But I'm glad New Legal was mad about it, and people need to be pointed out, man. All of them.
Yeah,
all of them need to be pointed out.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the same attitude when it's Sony. They say it's just business.
Rain said that Drive Club is better than the last Gran Turismo.
Hey man, that 30 frames per second game, Hey, where was all of they 30 frames per second? Now they trying to trip on that dude, Matty Plays. Matty Plays is the biggest piece of Xbox shit of all time. He
Who?
have concern this dude Matty Plays that unfortunately Cognito has partnered with.
Yeah.
Dude, he now there are these concerns for Starfield. Okay, let me tell you something, dude. Uncharted, God of War,
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank, Horizon Forbidden Entertainment. None of these games offer absolutely nothing new at all. Starfield is something that no Sony game has ever done. You're gonna have plenty of choices in this game, and that's one thing that I look for. I look for opportunity to play a game the way I want to play a game in the
Right.
games that I play.
Right.
So he's giving you that, and you're bitching at him about whether the game is going to be 30 frames per second or not. Now, you guys know me. Once I started, I love racing. I
Yeah. Yeah.
almost stopped.
Me and
I
you
almost
both.
stopped. Yeah, I almost stopped playing Forza Horizon 4 because when Forza Motorsport 7 released, it was at 60 frames per second,
Yeah.
and you could clearly feel that Forza Horizon was 30 frames per second, and I couldn't handle it, man. It was jarring to me.
Yeah.
So I had to totally stop playing Forza Motorsport and and finish playing Forza Horizon. I had to completely stop. I couldn't play them both at the same time,
Right. Yeah.
or put one down and play the other. I couldn't do it. But now everything is different, you know. But you get what you pay for. Everybody asks for SSDs. Hey man, I even heard Jez Gordon, and he said some good things.
Oh, that
I'm
Jazz
hard on
Gordon.
Jez. I'm hard on him, and
Ah.
I'm more difficult on Rand. But Jez Gordon said, um, "Damn, what did he say? He said something that was important. I'm gonna think about it. I forgot just that quick. That's what you get for getting older. But dude, I mean, he said something. I'll think of it later. But man, just the things that these guys do different in the games. Um, they earn, they pay, man. And hey, I want to ask people this. They want to say Xbox Live should be free. You want Xbox Live? Why don't they say why don't PlayStation make their service free?
Yeah. Yeah.
You never hear that. It's
You
always
never hear it at all.
Microsoft.
You won't hear it.
Yeah, and then people want to say Microsoft is mismanaged. They love to say that, right? Hey,
Yeah.
how about this, Sega man? Everybody is claiming the PlayStation has been on top for the last 2 decades, for 20 years. Well, what are you doing with your money? Why couldn't you buy a ZeniMax since you were managed so well?
Right.
Where's your $68 billion that you could spend on a studio
They don't
with
have it.
multiple games? You know
They
what
don't
I'm saying?
have it.
So where's their mismanagement at? Where's their mismanagement for giving you a 2018 car and releasing a game for $70 that, like Hebot said, you can't play offline in 2020, 2022? So you release a game and your newest cars. I'm gonna always harp on that
Yeah.
because like New Legal said, we don't point these guys out enough. I love to point them out, but everybody needs to start pointing these jokers all out
Yeah.
because they never have the same hate like they do for Xbox, dude. Never.
Nope.
Hey, and while we talking all of this shit, Sega man, where's your best friend at Jim Ryan?
He ain't nowhere to be seen now, is he?
This nigga can't find this dude nowhere, man.
Yeah,
And
man.
here, Phil Spencer doing all of these interviews with everybody.
Yeah.
Whether it's for corporate gain or not, he's in your face. You can reach out and you can have a conversation with this dude. We see him in the media promoting his product, but everybody have a problem with Microsoft's marketing. This is the worst marketing for Sony in corporation history, because the stink that they're providing here is bad press, and it's going to have a weaker consumer profile for everybody that likes Sony.
Yeah.
They doing it well. Of course they doing it the wrong way, but you don't provide weakness to your consumers. It's like how we like the Bulls up here. If Jordan were weak, we don't have 6 championships.
Yep.
If Walter Payton is weak, we don't have that 85 championship that we still hanging on to. Even though Peyton was on a downturn, but he built a tough culture for everybody that came to that team when the Bears were terrible in the 70s when he was running on that hard ass carpet at Soldier Field.
Yeah.
But here Jim Ryan is exuding all of this corporate weakness. I wouldn't be, it's like he told people, hey, our exclusives ain't shit, but yet Destin and IGN and everybody else tell me how great Sony's exclusives are. Listen to your bullshit ass boss, Jim Ryan. He's letting you know just how weak your product is that you're playing, that you're going to put down Sega Man after 3 days.
Right.
But I'm glad you did this, man. Who have you? We've been talking all of this shit, man. And I know you're a great host. You're a great host along with Unlimited. But y'all listen to us talking. Unlimited, he started jumping off the top rope, smacking people in the face. But, what you think about all of this bullshit, though?
What's that, Zink?
I said, what do you think about all of this that's going on for really the last 24 hours?
Zink, man, I just I think they just need to realize the truth of what's going on and stop making all these videos and podcasts trying to damage control everything, man. About then like you said, then they're saying Game Pass better not go up. I got news for you. If the games are going to go up, I think a little later on down the line, Game Pass is going to go up a little bit. You know what I mean? Everything everything has to go up. It's not going to stay $15. And it's not going to stay $40-something for 3 months. It's going to go up. It's going to go up, man, because these games, like Hebot said in the beginning of the podcast, this shit's expensive to make, bro. It's not cheap to make these games. You know what I mean? And like you said, it hasn't went up in years, bro. It's going to be 2023, and it hasn't had a price increase for what is it, over 20 years? It's been a long time. Long time.
And like people are also worried about Microsoft raising the price of the Xbox Series X and S because
you think that'll happen, Zink? I don't think they'll raise it. I don't know.
If they raise those prices, it will be a repeat. And Hebot knows this. I'm sure you know it too. You remember the reason they stopped the original Xbox? They stopped production. Because I think who was the graphics card maker for the Xbox back then? It wasn't AMD, it's the NVIDIA. NVIDIA would not reduce the price of that card for the Xbox, the original Xbox.
Yeah.
So they discontinued it. Okay. Now, if the chip prices don't come down, then the price could go up if other components aren't significantly cheaper to produce. That's why products go down as they increase in years, because those parts become cheaper to produce. Sony, meanwhile, made their PS5, that trash, more efficient to produce and still raised the prices $50. And they raised the prices in the US too, because that console, you can't buy that console without God of War. You can't do it. It's $559. You cannot buy it without God of War, and you don't get a physical copy. So where's everybody else at and bitching about it?
Man.
Hey, here's a better one. Sega man, check this out. They are advertising, I'm sure you saw it, they're advertising the PS4, 2013 PS4 for $349 with Call of Duty.
Really?
Dude, I took a picture of it for my boy. It was at Walmart. Well, Walmart had a sale. They had about 12 of them. The regular PS4 for $339 with a copy of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
That shit was in the case. But see, what it is, Sony is making a considerable profit off of that, because the PS4 is 9 years old. It's extremely cheap to produce. So they probably making damn near $200 profit off of that. You see,
Damn.
say
Yeah.
they're not giving us the PS4 Pro because that shit was expensive to produce.
Yeah.
So they went all to 2013. Where's the heat at, man?
Yeah, man.
Where's the heat at from all of these YouTubers? Nobody is talking about this shit. Nobody's concerned about the consumer now. Where's Fonzarelli at with that bullshit? You paying $200 over the price, the value of that console.
And he's a is he a Zink? Is Fonz a Sony dude?
It's 50-50. Fonz and I go back and forth, and he acknowledged some of the bullshit. But this one, I'm just gonna smack his head on. And he was, I ruffled Gaz feathers on his show because I was in the chat blowing up, and Gaz was like, "Why don't you ban this guy, Other Zink?" Here he is again. Hey, Gaz, Gaz, it's amazing. Gaz has a law degree, I believe. That's one of the top professions you can go for in college. Okay,
Yeah.
that's at the top of our food chain academically. I can't believe he's that stupid. Some of the things he says, and I know he doesn't have a business degree, but still, an attorney, it takes a lot to be an attorney. You can't be that far off base. You just can't. You can't be that far off base if you're not a super pony. Now, I don't know if Fonz is a super pony or not, but Gaz is a pony, dude. He a pony. I don't care what anyone says. He came into the
I
chat.
think he is too. I think he is too.
Hey, Sega man. One time, Gaz came into the chat on Sean's 786 show, and Sean he just be wilding out. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Gaz came in there talking that bullshit about Halo. Man, we booted his ass off the chat. And he had to DM Dirt Griggity to say, "Hey man, your guys just booted me out the show," and Dirt really couldn't say nothing. He was like, "Hey man, I can't believe they did that because they cool, and we get that." But Dirt was like, "Hey man, these guys don't take no shit in here." Yeah, man. But
So,
man.
He I know that I kind of figured that Fonz kind of was, because I used to listen to him a little bit back in the day when he was on other people's show, and I'm like, this dude he sounds like more of like leans towards Sony. If that's what he wants to do, that's on him. But
yeah, that's cool, man. If that's what you want to do, but don't. I get offended when they start making up stuff because now you're damaging the consumer base. Now you're misleading people. Like Rand misled the shit out of people. One of my boys sent me a clip. He said Halo is a failure.
What?
Hey, listen. Rand voids the facts all of the time. He has a really popular show.
Yeah.
So he just put out to all of the people that Halo is financially is not successful, which is the biggest lie on record. It don't matter how many times Matt Booty have to tell you how profitable the game is. And I'm glad the dude Hargeet Chinese that's in the chat most of the time, and he's jumped on a few shows, he smoked Gaz talking about Halos, just smoked them. But Halo made all of its research and development back inside of its first month of launch. Like he about said it was over $500 million. Yes, it was. Imagine making all of that 500 million back and then some in your first month. And it stays in the top 20. And Rand said this. What's that? Persona 5 was even ahead of Halo Infinite. And so, of course, like Unlimited Production teaches us, a simple Google search. So I went to see where what Persona 5 was as far on the Xbox charts, wasn't there.
Yeah.
See, that's what I mean. It doesn't have the staying power. Okay. Halo has been in the top 20 for an entire calendar year. God of War is now not being played by anyone. But we don't hear shit. But that game cost $70.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? See, but you can't get away with telling somebody like me when something is successful or not successful. Don't lie about it, dude. You could have any affiliation you want. Like it's a few guys, podcasters I like that love Nintendo. I will never buy a Nintendo product until they go into next gen. The last Nintendo product I had was when the GameCube. It was great.
Hey, think, man, are they actually going to do that?
Hey man, Nintendo is a handheld, bro. And next gen was the one that sniffed that out. So I can't say I did it. Next gen said, man, they getting out of the console business. That is a handheld. He was 100% right.
Yeah.
But that's Nintendo's base. That's their market demographic. It's 12 and under, and people hate it when I say that. But how can you hate me for saying that when the Nintendo executives said it?
Yeah.
You know, if you're gonna preach business, listen to the people that do the business for the machine. It's marketed to people that are 12 and under. You know, I've been meaning to look this up, Sega man. You know, everybody knows Halo is my #1 game all time, but I play Gears mostly, and it's really because I'm waiting on Firefight. But yeah, I'm waiting on that. But one of the games that I play most is Bejeweled.
Yeah, I seen you playing that. I think this morning or last night.
Yeah, I play that shit a lot, but you know, that's my getaway. You know, I'll play that and I'll listen to a podcast, or I'll just, you know, play it to, you know, just unwind a bit. And like Hebot was talking about the quick resume, they say it's a buzzword. I haven't restarted that game yet. I keep, you know, putting it on pause and I come right back to it. I think I've been playing. I got to look and see how many hours I play. I'm at 2 million and something on that game, and it take a lot to get that far up. But you know, the Xbox is doing too many great things, man. It's offensive when people devalue your product. And you know, I like TK9, but I disagree with them on all of this. One of the reasons I stopped, I paint as a side hustle, the work that I do now.
Yeah.
But I had a major painting company in our area before the banks collapsed in October 2008. But and I never wanted to get big again. So when I do things now, it's because people saw me doing it. And, hey, can you do this, right? But I don't do houses. I only do commercial work because people don't want to pay you what you're worth. Okay.
That's
now,
true. That is true.
With them making RDNA 2 next generation games, now people don't want to pay them what they're worth. Yeah. And these are programmers and engineers and developers that are worth their salt. Okay. And people say, well, I haven't played a $70 game yet. Call of Duty is actually a $70 game. And I don't play Call of Duty anymore. But the way I value a game is how much do you offer me, Sega man? You know, you can't be a one-dimensional game with only a campaign and ask me for $70 because I'm not giving it to you. I've always felt for decades a game needs to have a multiplayer, campaign co-op, a single player. Those 3 things were worth $20 each to me. Okay, but I still would pay $60 for a game. But today I expect better. I expect, like you said earlier at the top of the show, you said Gears has an escape mode, a single player, it's campaign co-op, it has a multiplayer, a horde mode. That's 5 things. And then it's done well. And then they gave you a free DLC that Hebot said in Hive Busters. They gave you 6 things.
Yeah.
And then the 7th thing, Sega man, they update the content constantly. That's 7 things. And the 8th thing, it's in Game Pass. Okay. This game started out, I think, with under 10 maps. There are 35 maps now with constant updates. 9 things. So you trying to tell me that this thing that offered you 9 things over 4 years isn't worth $70?
Yeah.
And we got it for free in Game Pass? But that sold 3.5 million actually before it released, because if you got the ultimate version, you got a chance to play it like 4 or 5 days early. They sold 3.5 million then. And Phil Spencer said, I don't know why people bought this game like that, because it's going to be free in Game Pass.
Yeah.
He said that shit.
Yeah, he did.
And so while people over there running their mouth about this 5.1 million imaginary copies they sold of God of War, when that shit was a constant pack-in for 5.1 million, Gears did that a long time ago. That's why Gears is $1 billion franchise, and God of War still is not.
I don't think it ever will be.
Hey man, I don't see how it could be.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I wish I wasn't on the road so I could see the chat. I looked at the chat. There's some few good things in there, a lot of good things, but you know, I have my head on a swivel when I'm not at home.
All right, Zink. Hey man, I guess we'll get out of here. You know what I mean? You probably you gotta get going. I gotta get ready for work, man. But thanks for coming in, brother. Hey, and you remember, anytime you want to come in, I can definitely you can chop it up now, and we can you can get on in the podcast, man.
I know, man, and I'm glad you always extend me that invitation. But like I said, man, I really like falling back, listening to T Reaper and you and you know, and others go off. You know, even when Unlimited did that bullshit on me and say I was painting houses for the homeless and shit. But anyway, man, thanks for having me on, man, and thanks to the chat out there, man. There's some, of course, some fire comments in that chat, but I just didn't get a chance to look at them like I normally do all of the time. But yeah, man, go ahead and go to work, and we'll talk about this later.
All right, Zink. Hey, man, do a small outro, brother, and I'm gonna get on out of here, bro. You
can find me in the chat with all of these motherfuckers that's in here now, and hanging out with you, 100, and the rest of the squad.
That's what's up. And 100 and E-Rock, they was in here.
I saw him in there. I was on a roll, and he
was in
going
here?
off. Yeah, I saw him. But you know, like I said, if I'm not at home, man, because usually, you know me, I comment to the people in the chat. But
yeah,
like I said, when I'm not at home, I look around too much.
Yeah, big shouts out to the chat, man. I'm sorry I can't read everybody's chat, but I do appreciate y'all coming in here on Wednesday with Game Talk with Sega Man at 11 o'clock a.m. I'll try to do it every Wednesday, but sometimes things come up, working or doing whatever. But I was really good to have Hebot, our brother Hebot, in here, and my brother Other Zink Man, which is part of all our podcasts now. Other Zink Man, spitting that hot fire. But you know, we're always going to come back and do more podcasts like this and call out the bullshit out here when it comes to Xbox, man. And when it comes to gaming, we're always going to say something. We're always going to be doing something, man, to combat all the bullcrap out there, man. So,
absolutely. Hey, let me say this one last thing. I meant to say this earlier. Go ahead. Six Slayer on New Legal Show said something that was so important. He said Xbox people need to cut the bullshit and stop letting Sony fans set narratives. 1 year we don't have enough. He was alluding to, like, 1 year we didn't have enough indie games. Another year we didn't have these little cool indie developed AA games, and now all of a sudden they're strictly holding us to AAA games. People have to stop letting them set narratives. And now, you know, they say, well, these games are delayed. Well, every game Sony released should have been out in 2020 or 2021, but it came out in 2022, and don't nobody say shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was so spot on when he said that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, thanks for having me, and we'll do this again.
All right, Zink, man, we're going to get out of here. Hey, shouts out to the chat, everybody. Thank you for joining me, Zink, and Hebot on Game Talk on Wednesdays, man. And remember, guys, like I always say, man, you know, we're always eating good over here, man. We got plenty. And I still think we got some more good desserts coming up, man. You know, for before Christmas, I think we're going to get surprised with some more stuff, man. I just think
High on Life is next week.
High on Life, man. You guys got to be happy. You guys got to be high on Xbox, because you guys got to be happy, man. Be happy, dude. Don't be worrying about PlayStation and all their bullshit of, you know, people, you know, all the stuff that they're spewing. We got a lot of games to play. We got things we got to do, man. We can't be worrying about them, because they, like we said before, Sony has never been and will never be competition for Microsoft. It's not Sony. It's the big boys like, you know, Apple and Google and Amazon.
and Amazon.
It's not Sony, guys. Don't ever believe it. Never was.
It's
They're
not even
competition.
Tencent. Tencent is like a holding company.
Right.
They're like an investment group. They ain't shit.
They ain't shit either, man. They can't compete, guys. Y'all need to stop worrying about that, man. Just play your games, man. And like I said, it's our time, Zink. It's our time. It feels like the old 360 days. It's our time, man. It's Xbox time, and I don't think they're going to be falling down no time soon. I just think it's going to get better and better, and I think other companies are going to have to follow suit. They're going to have to follow the leader, and the leader is Microsoft, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Agreed, 100%.
All right, so guys, we're gonna get out of here. Peace and love, guys. Xbox for life. We don't die, we multiply. Bring good over here. Peace.
Peace.